real estate is probably not going to go down. Do you know what continues to keep on going up? Rents.
So what does it all mean for you? I'm going to tell you in this month's As the Market Turns with Melanie Hunt.
May 2023 Metro Atlanta market stats. Interesting month we've had. We are starting to really feel the bottom and we're back up to the top. And let me tell you why. Total homes for sale, 14,280. It's up only about 800 units, so 800 additional listings over last month. That is a little unique. Usually we see a little bit more houses coming on the market in May than we did in April as that summer selling season continues to churn on. So that's kind of interesting. We had 10,000 new listings. It's down 22% year over year, but it's also up about 1,000 units over last month. And then closings, total closings last month, 7,598. That's down 20%-ish year over year and down about 800 units over the previous month. I think we're seeing the rate sensitivity in the market be projected into the units for sale. So we had rates come down a little bit. In March, things got gobbled up, went under contract quickly. And then rates went a little bit back up in May. We're still seeing the market like churn rate along. What I'm seeing is the houses that look great and are priced right, we're gone. Multiple offers, first weekend. We are right back into the mix of that whole game. The ones that need a little help are hanging out for a little bit longer, which is why you see that total homes for sale number increasing and kind of lingering a little bit. But we are in no way, shape, or form in any kind of danger of like so much inventory that prices are starting to drop. Sales prices. Right now, the median is at $389,995 in the Metro Atlanta area. That is down 2.5% year over year. So if you looked at nothing else, you would think, oh my gosh, prices are down 2.5% of what the median was last May. But here's where it gets really interesting. The average is $477,423. That is up 60 basis points or 0.6% over last year. So which one is correct, right? Are prices down or are they up? What does the median tell us? And what does the average tell us? The median is simply stating that if you have a list of 100 things, they're gonna point to the one that's directly in the middle, number 50, and they're gonna say that's the median. The average is truly taking an average of all 100 prices. The fact that that's continuing to move forward is a good indication that prices are still great. The fact that the median is a little bit lower is telling us that maybe the very top end of the market has softened slightly and the bottom end of the market is still churning along just fine. The other interesting thing is that we saw the home prices over the previous month jump up pretty significantly. The median was up $10,000 over April, and the average was up $25,000 over April. Another good way to look at like what our overall home price is doing is to look at the price per square foot. Both instances of median and average price per square foot were up about $4 a square foot over last month and down about 1% year over year. I have a feeling that we'll be right back to even next month, maybe even a little bit ahead based on how we're feeling the market moving right now. So what does that mean? Well, it means that the market is still very strong in terms of pricing. If you're a seller, if you purchased your home and closed in May of 2022, you probably would only be able to sell your house for what you paid for it. Now, don't get me wrong here, okay? Real estate is super hyper local. Some areas may be outperforming that overall average and some areas may be underperforming it. However, if you're anyone else, you likely have more equity. And if you bought it more than 2 years ago, you're likely sitting on a great amount of equity. All that to say, there is no fear around prices dropping. And also that might be a little bit of bad news for all of you home buyers that have been sitting on the sidelines and waiting for prices to drop. Even in a 7% interest rate climate, we are not seeing prices drop. Number one, it's all about inventory. Plain and simple. It's all about inventory. we don't have enough supply of homes to meet the current demand of buyers that would create a dip in pricing. Simple as that. Majority of homeowners that have a house that you would like to buy are not putting that house on the market because either they're sitting at a 2% interest rate or a 3% interest rate or a 4% interest rate, and they're looking at paying 7% on their next home, and just the affordability of that is a tough pill to swallow. So who is buying and selling? Great question. What we're seeing a lot of is empty nesters, grandparents who want to move to be closer to family. Those people have been in their houses for a long time typically, and they have a ton of equity. They're used to a 7% interest rate market because that's what they were paying way back in the day, or they are flush with a ton of cash where the interest rates are not going to bother them significantly. Even younger folks who want to move to be closer to family. Those are folks that are buying right now. I still have a great deal of first-time home buyers that we're working with. They understand that real estate is probably not going to go down. But you know what continues to keep on going up? Rents. Even though we are seeing multiple offers come back, it is not nearly what it was last year and the year prior, where you had to give away your firstborn child in order to get a house. There is a lot of opportunity here. The other folks that we are helping a lot right now, unfortunately, divorces and then relocations. We've got a lot of clients who are taking jobs elsewhere. On the flip side of that whole divorce thing is families that are getting larger. If you're a family that's having a baby or another baby or a third baby and you're in a 3-2 home, you may need to upsize and you're kind of willing to pay that 7% interest rate in order to do that. Now, the great news is that a lot of people are sitting on a ton of equity, and so you can kind of capitalize that on your next purchase. So back to the stats here. A median days on market right now is sitting at 12. 12 days on market is really a short time. Interestingly though, it's double of what it was last year at this time. And it's about 2 less days on market than it was in April. So the market we're seeing that seasonality, it's moving quicker. I think we're also just kind of seeing buyers adjust to the fact that like the whole rate increase was not an anomaly, and they're kind of getting comfortable with the fact that the market is not about to tank. And so people are back in the market making moves. The average days on market is at 33. So that's also up about 83% year over year. It's down about 5 days on market over last month. Sellers right now are receiving 100% of the list price, that's the median, and the average is right at 99.4%. Conversely, last year that average was at 103% of list price, which meant no matter what you were paying over the list price, 99.4% means there's a little bit of room. So we are seeing some buyers able to negotiate a little bit. And it just kind of depends where you're buying, what you're buying, how competitive that scenario is going to be, but we're not seeing the competition that we did last year, thank God. Another great indication of like what is the buyer demand looking like overall out there is shows to pending and shows per listing. Median shows to pending last month was at 13 and the average was 18.5. 18.5 on average showings happened per listing that went under contract. Not the ones that are sitting out there on the market just kind of hanging out. But if you've got that listing that looks really great and is priced right, you're gonna get a lot of activity on it, okay? Overall average shows per every listing was at 8. But that average at 18.6 per pending listing is up about 0.5% over last year. So it tells me that the buyers are out there and they're searching, but they are being picky, very picky. They're not going to look at everything, anything, and just gonna buy whatever they can possibly get their hands on. They're being picky and only buying the most perfect listings out there. If you're a seller, if you're a buyer, if you're interested in real estate, give us a call. We'd love to talk specifics around what your goals are and strategize. It's our favorite thing to do. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in June.